everybody. It is Tuesday night. It is 9 p.m., give or take. Thank you for staying tuned through the end of Atlanta Braves baseball here on the Superstation. It's time for What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
We got a fuller house than you know. Ragtime Rob will be joining us later. We got a host segment up first tonight, as these gentlemen are here to plug away for the upcoming DFW G.I. Joe show in Irving, Texas at the end of the month. And as you can see, Greg Brown has cake waiting. So making his first appearance on the show, showrunner for the DFW G.I. Joe show, Greg Brown. I can't hear those folks. I don't hear the applause in the back.
That's good.
We're looking at you, Andrew Garrison. Where's the applause?
Andrew.
And then in the bottom left, he is a noted author in his own right, and one of the panelists for the upcoming DFW G.I. Joe show in Irving, Texas at the end of the month. Dan Klingensmith making his first appearance on the program.
Easily the top-rated Klingensmith in the whole collecting community.
There you go.
I mean, clearly on our guest roll call, absolutely, he's number one with a bullet. I mean, Pete Klingensmith, that guy
sucks.
That guy was awful. He was the worst.
Oh, he was all hot take guy. Like, yeah,
he was so bad nobody remembers him.
Right?
Nobody can tell you what he looked like. Just
yeah.
Pete Klingensmith.
Bad.
Yeah, Pete. Cousin Pete.
Black sheep in every family, man.
Yeah, he thought he was being edgy by speaking Klingon. Like, get it? It was like, get out.
Right. Booted him.
Oh, so bad.
Joining me in our improv experiment here in the top row, he is our normal co-host, former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Show, Mark Weber.
Yeah, I thought this was whose line is it anyway? But
you might as well, right?
Man, I'm happy to be here. You'll notice I got La Parka riding on the Lucha Lowrider this week.
All right.
So we're upgrading the man cave. Yeah,
I couldn't quite tell what vehicle that was. It looked like a train.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought maybe it was the Lucha Loco.
No, same difference, right?
Josiah Alcorn with the very good question. Are super chats working? Clearly they are, sir. But we get what you're going at there. We get you. Super chats are open, of course. It's a great way to get your question on the air, especially when we have guests that you might want to ask questions to. And we will be taking care of them first, just as we do. Make sure you're doing all that cool YouTube stuff. Hit all the buttons that you can hit. That's always free. Super chats, they charge you. But, the free stuff, you just like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Otherwise, Ragtime Rob's going to cry. He's in another room right now, but he will. I can see.
Man, he's reading a Batman comic right now. Couldn't be happier.
He is typing away at something. So I'm a little nervous as to what Ragtime Rob is actually up to in there. Just hammering away. There we go.
I see what he's doing.
Feel free to donate to the Rob's Tired of Working Fund.
Yeah.
It's our own Tired of Working Fund. We're all got a Tired of Working Fund. Although I suppose not everybody has a streaming show on Tuesday night to broadcast such things. So maybe Ragtime Rob is on to something.
If Rob adds that secretly to our support these causes slide, I'm gonna throw the flag. Like, come on now.
That would imply that Rob does any more than 0% of the prep work for this show.
So he and I are tied.
Right. It's no, that's actually not true, because even this week, Greg reached out to you first, and you turned him to me, which means that you did assist in the production.
Yeah. I pass. Nobody passes the buck like me. Like, work? No. That guy over there. But either way, yeah. I'll be Gretzky. I'll lay it out there for you.
It works better that way, because again, everything was right in the process of falling apart on me this week. And then Greg showed up right there, right? Just
Yay.
Perfect.
He's like an angel. Look at him. You see the glow.
Fat angel.
Okay, he and I are glowing.
I see the glow on his glasses, even. That's how much he's glowing.
Yeah, that's my demon eyes.
Yeah, Dave McDonald, Rob's What's on Joe Mind tell-all book.
Yeah,
man, he's the guy who's been hosting the show for the shortest amount of time. There's no good tell-all book there.
No, but he's been listening to you complain about it for 14 years at least. So
we didn't even live in the same town for most of that time, man.
and so that stopped you.
I don't know. It's one of those things. You know how we talk on the phone all the time, but you know how it is when you got a brother, Mark. You don't just complain at him all the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if he's in the room, sure, but if he's not, it's not that important. We're guys. We let things slide off.
As Stone Cold Steve Austin said, dudes don't FaceTime dudes.
Right. Bad.
I did
Not Joe Mind. But again, he'll be back after the break. When we do the news, Racktime Rob will be back with us. And these gentlemen, Greg will be having cake. And
yes,
maybe Dan has cake. I don't know.
I don't.
Oh,
we had tacos for Cinco de Mayo, so
that's it.
That's a good thing. That's a good. But Greg did that, and he's got cake.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous.
That's the first. Now I get to have cake after cerveza.
You got to give a little time for that beer to cake transition, though.
Yeah. No, I got to watch what I'm doing.
Josiah Alcorn is plugging the damn show tonight. He's not sure the like button is working. Please hit for a test. Just don't hit it twice. Just once. Once is good. Once is a good test. I think he's trying to get a cut on the super chat.
It might be.
Could be.
Rob's GoFundMe there he has going.
Right. That's so. I guess we'll start this one, man. We will actually get to the show proper rather than waste more of Americans' time.
The show,
right? We do a show. This people are watching this, Mark.
Yeah, I mean some.
A couple, sure.
Yeah,
but
a couple.
I think a lot of times people leave us on so that the cat doesn't tear up the furniture.
We're America's screensaver.
Yeah, yeah. We're like an aquarium. Slightly less funny aquarium. But Greg, we'll start with you, man, because you're the guy running the show. It's proper. How long have you been involved with the DFW show, and how long has this show been going on? It is one of the longer running regional / national shows that we've got going on anymore. Give us a timeline.
Yeah, it actually started. Almost 20 years ago. We used to do the show in Arlington, which is the town between Dallas and Fort Worth, and it was called the Great Texas G.I. Joe and Action Figure Show. And then the guy that I was working with at the time decided he kind of wanted to get out of toy shows, and so he handed over the reins to the local club, the DFW G.I. Joe club. That was one of the back when Brian Savage was running the club. You had all these different satellite clubs, and the DFW was one of the authorized ones. And so we were doing the show, and then we decided we did our first show with that one once we transitioned and changed the name. And we moved it over to Grapevine, which is still kind of in the center, but a little bit further up, but near the airport. And we had always wanted to, because of Brian's show was always West Coast, Central, and East Coast. We kind of wanted to try to do our show, and then there was Jolanta that used to do their show in Atlanta, and then there was another show, the Kentuckiana show in Kentucky. And so we always try to kind of balance each other out. And kind of be, if you couldn't make to one, you could go to the other one, and such like that. And so we always try to maintain the kind of the small toy show vibe, and we never wanted to be a Comic-Con or a fan expo or anything like that. We always wanted to keep it smaller. And so I was involved with it. We were moving in a certain direction. And then once I kind of felt good with it, I went off to go do another show up in Pennsylvania with my family. I have families up in Hershey. And then I came back, and it was right after COVID, and I was like, hey, let's try to get this thing kind of back on its feet, because we'd had, we had Buzz Dixon in the years past, and we had Larry Hamla in the years past, and then of course Ron Rudette and Jenny, and it was just, we just kind of, COVID just kind of knocked the steam out of the show a little bit, so we kind of got it back on track.
Right, that's a lot of.
Yeah, it was really crazy, because we were going to have Greg Bernson and Kurt Groen for that show, and then we had to cancel. And I don't know if Joanna canceled. I know Kentuckiana continued on, but they had to do a lot of spacing. And then I think Ed did Ed continue it at Joe Fest? Did he continue for 2020? I can't remember.
He did, yeah.
Did he do a show in 2020?
Attendance was way down,
Yeah.
but he did have a show.
Yeah, it was pretty. The whole spacing and distancing thing is kind of a hard thing when you're doing a very public show. Right. But we've always, it's always been a club type of activity. I've been a member of the DFW G.I. Joe Collectors Club, gosh, man, since like 2000. And we've always been involved. We were always involved with the other show. And for like this show, a lot of the people are volunteers, and, including myself and including Dan, the man over here. We brought Dan. What did you jump on board? Was it 2023?
I think
it was 2024.
I was actually thinking about that. I think 23.
Yeah, 23. And the reason I contacted Dan was because I remember Dan and Daryl DePriest doing the thing for the HasCon, and so I reached out to him. And because I knew Kurt, I knew Kirk, and I knew Greg. And then I knew Ron and Jenny, but trying to contact with those other people. Dan was very instrumental in that, and has been very instrumental because of the workshops that not the workshops per se, the panels that we do. Dan basically creates every single panel that we do, and corrals every one of those guys in. In fact, this year we've got 11 guys from the original Real American Hero, and then we brought in Greg O'Toole, who worked on G.I. Joe Classic Collection for this year. So, right. But it's just, it's a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people, they want to do the San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con or whatever. And that's just not our vibe. It's, we've always wanted to keep it personal, smaller, make sure that our vendors are really good. And we don't want the vendors to cannibalize on each other. In fact, I just talked to a vendor the other day because I was talking about where we're going for next year. And he was like, you're not going to try to bring in more people. I'm like, no, we're going to try to keep it, personal, and, keep it where people can go in and shop just like it used to be for Brian shows. In fact, a lot of the stuff we based it upon was based on how Brian Savage used to do the shows. Right. I've known Brian forever. He lives an hour away from me. He's come to the show the past few years. In fact, he did the You Don't Know Joe trivia contest that we did last year. He ran it. He was using the same questions from 2018. I think it was from the Tuskegee. Was it Tuskegee? I can't remember.
That sounds pretty on brand.
Yeah, and it was really funny because what was it? They had one about Toby Keith, about something about Toby Keith, and it was kind of odd because he, at the time that the trivia count thing was, Toby Keith was still alive, so he was, unfortunately, had passed away. Right. So we had to kind of put a warning out there, well, not a warning, but an advisory that, hey, some of these questions are a little bit dated. So we were using, honest to God, Brian's Mac computer to run the game last year.
Again, it sounds right.
Was it Brian and Daryl or no? I can't remember.
It was Brian was running it, and then I asked Daryl to be the MC. Okay. And Daryl had a previous dinner engagement, so it was Ace Allgood did the MCing. Okay. And it was really funny because we asked a lot of 3 3/4 inch guys and 12-inch guys, and only really one diehard 3 3/4 inch group of guys went in and competed, and they did really good. But if you guys remember, Brian had a different name for it. We always called it You Don't Know Joe. But I remember our team, we competed, and it was a good amount of questions for 3 3/4 inch as well as 12-inch. So you kind of you really needed to build a team of people that knew the different aspects of the different scales. So, but yeah. Yeah, Brian Savage. He's still out there. He's doing pinball machines now, I think. So,
How many GI Joe Extreme questions were there? Do you remember?
God, I hope there weren't any. I don't know.
Sorry, I had to take a jab.
I don't think there were any of them. I was kind of sitting off in the back drinking a beer, so just relaxing. I was not on any team, so.
Yeah.
That would have been something to watch all the teams fight for Justin Bell.
It's a fun show. Like I said, Dan's been. What's funny when we competed, it was me years ago. This is back when the show was like in Allen, Texas. It was me and Ace Allgood and Matt Stevenson and our friend Scott Beckman, his daughter, who at the time she might have been 16 or 17. She was our ringer. And she got in there, and we ended up getting a medallion for the thing, and we ended up winning because she was man. We were like, was Battle Force 2000? How many members were in Battle Force 2000 again? And bam, she nailed it. So thank God for that 15-year-old girl that totally aced it for us. So is it how many is it? 8?
7.
I never can remember because they added DJ later on. I was like,
yeah.
So
he's number 7.
Good old DJ.
They're all dead.
DJ. Don't like Greg. Greg's goals. What's the Dallas Cowboys stadium, arena, whatever you want to call it?
Jerry World.
Jerry World.
Jerry World. That's Greg's long-term goal. He wants to fill up the Jerry World.
No, we don't. We I got a buddy of mine. He does a show at the Irving Convention Center, which looks like a giant Jawa sandcrawler. And I just don't like it. Every year that, Dan and I work together on the show, and then I work with the club, we get panels for Saturday, we get panels for Sunday, we get some really good, the sponsors, they get a panel. So, we got Valor versus doing a panel, and then Carson's doing a panel. Peloton's doing a panel this year. I think they decided not to do it, but it's pretty fun. Dan can elaborate more on the actual workshops, how they go on, because it's I got to give Dan credit. Getting these guys all together in one Zoom meeting is an accomplishment to itself, and then getting them to agree on a subject to talk about is a totally different thing. And then getting them to focus is pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. But Dan's wrangled 4.
Similar to our pre-show, only without a hard line to go to a national. There's nobody to just hit the button and say,
okay, you got one that's dealing with Dan, what's that subset, those subset things that we're doing this year? Not Battle Force 2000, but it was like, the subgroups.
So we're doing 2 different panels. One's on 80 subgroups essentially, and then the other is going to be on the 90s. So, first, you talk about the whole Dreadnought discussion and all that jazz?
Right.
Yeah. So, because there is a discussion like, well, what's subgroups and what's factions essentially, And so we're kind of like, well, we think, Iron Grenadiers, Battle Force 2000, Dreadnoughts are kind of a faction. They're not really a subgroup in that sense. And, they're kind of going back and forth. So it's kind of fun to hear, them going back and forth as far as deciding. But at the end of the day, Mark, made the decision, hey, these were subgroups, especially in the 80s. There were repaints using the tooling over again and stuff like that. Right. So, the first panel is going to cover Tiger Force, Python Patrol, Marauders, Sky Patrol, and who else? There's like one more I'm trying to think.
Night
Force. And then we'll have another panel separate. It's going to be subgroups of the 90s. So I think we're doing Eco Warriors, Mega Marines, DEF. The only two I don't think we're doing Battle Corps or Star Brigade, just not this year. So that's 2 of the panels for the show. I think there's 4 panels. Then there's the Saturday night event, which we'll, I'm sure, touch upon. So.
Oh yeah. We got slides. I
got slides. Good.
Yeah, Mike was like, "Can you send me images?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Greg's like,
You probably have the official names of them. I know their internal. All right, this is the subgroup, panel, but you probably have the official name, of course. So
I asked Greg for images, and he just very quickly types in "on it," and then I just see the little thing with the period that he's typing, and then that thing didn't go away for like a half an hour. So, yeah, it was a productive session on Facebook Messenger.
Hey, we have a person that's all she does is does the graphic design for all the artwork for the panels and workshops. So you're like, "Hey, give me kind of content." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy, here you go." So
you don't know what you asked for.
You're gonna regret asking me that question. So,
but we have Noah Manchild checking in, meeting and chatting with the designers. One of the highlights of the show. They're all so kind. They really are. The next time I have a bad experience with somebody who worked on Joe will be the first time. No lie.
It's a good group. It's a good group of guys, and it's a special group in my opinion. I mean, just knowing these guys over the years and talking to them and the environment that they had, and bringing them all together. For many is a job. I mean, work's work, but the relationships that they've been able to sustain over time. I was happy to kind of start the reunion. Now it's been 10 years since I did that first reunion back in Rhode Island. So, some of them hadn't seen each other for 20, 30 years. So to keep that going has been, an honor in my side of things, just kind of bringing people together who really worked on something special for all of us in a sense. So,
right. They very clearly loved it because they remember all these little, minute details and
oh yeah.
Conversations and relationships and why they did this on a file card 25 years ago. It's really amazing. And that doesn't happen unless they really are enjoying what they're doing. So sure, it was a job, but man, what a great job.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I don't remember what I did at work last week.
Me neither.
It's a great group. So
we'll pull up some of Greg's graphics here.
Okay.
And look at it. But there you are. The DFW GI Joe and Action Figure Show is at the end of this month, May 29th through the 31st. That is a Friday through a Sunday.
Yep.
Celebrating over 60 years of GI Joe, as the sign clearly says. And you got your spiffy graphic there.
And it's a weekend after Memorial Day.
Right, the weekend after Memorial Day. We had some people like, well, I can't come out Memorial Day. We're like, hey, it's the weekend after. So, we're trying to keep everybody in mind for kids getting out of school and families getting out of school. And here's a great opportunity, the week after Memorial Day, come to a great fun show for the family,
Right. Memorial Day is early this year, so we got a little extra time. Real quick, before we get into too many of the slides, I do want to throw up the super chat from our boy Gene Fleming here. Super chat to the Gunny. Happy 71st birthday from yesterday. Round of applause for the guy.
Absolutely. Did he bake his own cake?
I mean, I hope so, because
probably
you do it better than him.
No, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? When you're that qualified a baker and it's your birthday, do you want to not do the work, or do you want to have the best damn cake, right?
Right. Like I get, like, for a dude like me who doesn't really bake, Costco does perfectly fine work. That's an insult to a man of the Gunny skill.
Yeah.
Did the Gunny visit you guys at DFW last year? He was the dude in the Rascal with all the Nerf guns mounted on it.
If he did, I must have been somewhere else where I wasn't getting shot with a Nerf gun. So.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I'd have to see a picture. But...
All right. Gene checking in. I took him to the Brazilian steakhouse in town. He had cake there. I hope they had a Marine baked baker on staff.
Right. If the Gunny gets you with a Nerf dart, don't take it personal. He shoots everybody.
Right. It's the sign he loves.
Yeah.
But of course, special guests include Larry Hama, Ron Wagner, Ron Rudat, Vinny DeLiva, Kurt Groen, Dave Kunitz, Greg Bernstein, Frank Corianos, Guy Cassidy, Bob Swanson, Mark Pennington, Bill Young, Doug Hart, Greg Atour, Michael Charles Hill, Lisa Raggio, Zach Hoffman, Mary McDonald Lewis, and friend of the program, Bill Ratner. Just to give you the short list there, that list doesn't even have Dan Kligensmith on it. What's up with that?
I'm more the MC. I'm just emceeing the panels more than anything.
All right. You can't.
Dan just races everybody.
Yeah,
Dan just walks around the showroom floor autographing stuff for small children and people.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
not good enough to make the list. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let everybody be surprised.
But no,
he's part of the team now, so he doesn't get his little monkey booth this year. So,
dude, I want to see some kid come up with an OG Flash backpack and say, "Will you sign this, Mr. Kligensmith?
Mr. Kligensmith, would you sign my children's head?"
Small, yeah.
I'm not a creeper. I don't sign kids stuff.
Not for free, anyway. Hey,
leave that to Greg.
Rob,
now
sign stuff with Stay Golden Pony Boy.
Pony Boy
Sounds good. The Gunny asked if we were invited. I mean, we are. Just getting there is something different. That maybe next year we will certainly make the effort to get out for it next year. This year was, from the beginning of the year, of the calendar year, knew this one was going to be a tough one to try and get out too much.
Gotcha.
So we kind of knew we were going to be missing the swing of you guys and Joe Fest pretty early on, but hopefully next year we'll have a little bit more of an expanded presence at the summer shows.
One of my
next year the airline tickets get cheaper too. So
yeah,
Jesus,
it's a good point. One of my favorite guys is on. I mean, they're all great, but I worked with Dave Kunitz for about a month at Hasbro before he left. And I had just met him on my first day. I was working on Transformers. And we had a staff meeting where they were showing off a new product pitch. And it was like Beyblade meets Transformers. It was the recognizable vehicle modes. And when they would hit, like the doors would pop open and a missile launcher would flip up and they would spin and battle, right?
Okay.
It was when they were trying to pass off toys as games. So they could pump up the game's revenue. That's why Bot Shots had that little flipping thing in the rock, paper, scissors game in the middle. Anyway, I'm looking at this, and in my head, I'm going, that's trash. But I am day one on this brand. So we're going to read the room before Rookie opens his mouth. Kunitz was running the meeting, and after the guys had pitched it, he said, it definitely is a new spin on Transformers. And then he said, what do you think, Mark? called me right out, but he wasn't not in a mean way. He wanted not just to hear what the new kid has to say, but he knew if I was smart, I probably wasn't going to speak up at my first meeting. And I thought about it and I'm like, well, here we go. And I said, it's a cool concept, but if it doesn't really transform, is it a transformer?
All right.
And I was quiet, right? I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And then Dave pointed at me and said, that's a really good point. And then moved on to the next person. So he had me bat lead off, but he made sure that I spoke. And I'll always remember him for that. And he was cool beyond that, but that was day one. Yeah, all I knew is that he was, a legend from the Joe days. And he made sure my voice got heard. That's what I remember Dave for.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dave's a good guy, and
he's a good guy.
He's always been resourceful and providing stuff, and he makes every single meeting that we have.
Yes, he does.
But a lot of respect for all these guys, but I could see that resonates with me as far as who he is and how he shows up. So that makes sense. So great story though. Love that.
And they never made those toys. Because they were terrible.
Your comment.
Yeah, I thank them. Yeah, I had to make nice with those designers for a while. Let me tell you.
Just think, there's some designer out there that just hates you, Mark.
Yeah. At least
that
one.
Bastard Weber on his first meeting.
Ironically, I'm the marketer they ended up liking because most marketers treated designers like crap. So,
wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
They were afraid of you, Mark, because you picked up screwdrivers.
Yeah, anytime I would pick up an X-Acto knife, it would summon 3 designers. What are you doing? How can we help you? Put the knife down.
Did you guys make Chinese stars out of the razor?
It was just, there were so many times we'd be presenting, and they called it the tank, the little presentation room, and design or marketers would take something, 3D printed, one of one, and break it right away. Right. I saw a guy, they were showing off a 6-inch scale X-Wing fighter. It was like bright blue because that's what they got printed in, right? And he held it up, and the scale's amazing, right? That's a big ship at the 6-inch scale. And he was holding it flat. It got oohs and ahs. And then when he turned it, so the wings were down, they weren't open. When he turned it, the 2 bottom wings slid out and broke into I'm not kidding, 1 billion pieces, right?
Ooh.
It was not, they needed a eulogy, not a fix job on this thing. And I remember looking over at the Star Wars designer and him just boiling, but not able to say anything, right? They never trusted marketers with anything because we had earned the rep of being ham-handed and design illiterate. So give it to a marketer and fix it an hour later. That's pretty much what they believe.
Now, was it always called the tank when you were there?
When I was there, yeah. I think it had a real name, but it was just always called the tank.
I know they called it the Terradrome back in the day. So
that's cool. The cool thing about the tank, it was in the middle of like the back spine of Hasbro, but you could go behind it. There was a thin corridor behind it. Mm-hmm. And like Transformers G.I. Joe was here, and then the tank was here, and then Pony and who knows, all the girl stuff was down here. But if you were trying to avoid somebody up front, you could go behind the tank and come out through the girls area. And so there was one guy they brought in who was just dreadful. And he had what was Daryl's office eventually when I was working with Daryl, and it opened out into the hallway. And there was a guy they had there who anytime you walked by his office, he would give you some of his work to do. So we learned all the different ways to and from our desk where we wouldn't pass that hallway because that guy was a nightmare.
Was that the center? Because I got to go to Hasbro the day after HasCon, so I got to see the tank, and I saw Daryl's office. Was it the one in the middle, kind of like in the middle section?
A little bit. It was a big office, long, and like most of them, no ceiling.
Yeah.
So. Did you see the hollowed out cubicle just diagonally behind his? It probably still smelled like me.
Not quite. I don't remember. I didn't wander around too much.
Yeah,
I mean, but no.
You couldn't miss it. There were all these flowers, and people had written things on the door.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah,
very touching. Yeah,
I do. Mm-hmm. Dead flowers and candles, and I remember that now.
Yeah.
They didn't clean up. They just left it all there, Mark.
Somebody wrote "Death of the Brand" on it. Yeah, I remember.
Of course, in the among the many guests of honor, you can see there Larry Hama, Ron Wagner. Can't have a Joe show without Larry Hama and Ron Wagner. That's I think that's the rule these days. Got to book tickets from Des Moines. Get Ron Wagner out to your show.
Yeah, Ron. I met Ron a couple years ago. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Ron's a super good guy. I got to meet him at Assembly Required. In fact, he told me I think he just walks to the show at that one. And so I went to him and I was like, "Hey, when's the last time you did an artwork piece for the Nth Man?" And he stopped everything he was doing and just looked at me and he goes, "I think you're the second." Super nice guy.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I got to talk to him for the first time in any real quantity at last year's AR, and he is a good dude.
Yeah. Super good guy. Yeah, I'm glad we're glad to have him at the show this year.
I'm glad it's rare that you can get him out of town. It seems like he did. I think he kind of just was forgotten a little bit, and then people started to realize, oh hey, he does this show in Iowa every year,
right?
And so then they started sending notes to Iowa like, hey, why don't you come do this thing? And he's great with it, apparently. Good. We should all know Ron Wagner.
Yeah, we tried when I was talking to Larry And I said, if you could pick 2 other people to come to the show with you, who would you want? And he said, Ron Wagner and Rod Wiggum. And we talked to Rod a little bit. Last I recall, Rod's in Atlanta area. And he's like, dude, I'm just not really up to traveling too much. And I was like, hey, listen, totally fine. But Ron said he'd love to do it. And then, of course, this will be Larry's 3rd time doing the show. And the last time he was here was 2 years ago. And there was a line of people and just super popular in the Dallas area, the DFW area, having him there.
Yeah. Yeah, he had definitely had a long line.
I myself would have gone with Emily Blunt and Jennifer Garner, but that's me.
Larry is a classier gentleman than you are, Mark.
No doubt.
Right? I mean,
no doubt.
I don't feel like I'm calling you out on that. I think it's just perhaps true.
That's fair.
If I brought Jennifer Garner, I wouldn't be doing the show the following year because of my wife would have put a kibosh to it. So I can relate to you on Jennifer Garner.
Right.
We would all visit your grave with revenants, Greg.
Right.
Yes, you would. I remember Greg well. Him and Mark Weber, Jennifer Garner.
Right. Yep.
Good man, that Greg. Good man.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Anyhow.
No comment.
There you go.
Right.
This is a pre-show, right? This isn't going.
Dan's wife is at the doorway, just standing kind of.
She's out there. I could hear her. So.
My wife is at the booth, and when I disappear and I come back, she wants to check my pockets to see if I've bought anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things about Daryl at JoeCons, right? He'd disappear for a while, and then he'd come back holding something that I know he owns already. Yeah. He came back with a bug one time. He was all giddy because it was a complete bug.
Right.
And it looked great. And he's like, "This is so cool. Look." And I'm like, "Daryl, you have to have a bunch of those." He's like, "Yeah, I got like 4 or 5, in box, but it was such a good deal." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, he's the only Hasbro VP who would walk the show and buy stuff, right? So, but he also was so giddy. I'm like, "Where are you going to put that?" And he's like, "I'll just put it down in the bottom of the case, like our display case." And I'm like, I said, "Yeah," and then I'm answering bug questions all day, Daryl.
Between the two of you under the table, it's like a divider, right?
Yeah.
I like that he felt the need to make excuses to you because he knew that if he had been there with his family, that's what he would have to do.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the time Daryl, when he did shows for Hasbro, was pretty much stuck at the booth.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I was like, go, I got this, go run the show. So Daryl wants to be with the fans and he wants to get deals out on the floor, and he wants to meet with the fans because he is a fan. So look at this. The bug guys are still after me. Even Rob wants the bug.
Yeah, I first met Daryl Comic-Con 03, I think. San Diego Comic-Con 03. So yeah, I met him at the booth at Hasbro back in the day. So, and then we saw each other again at, JoeCons and stuff like that, years and years and years later. So, great guy and always had good things to say. And he's a pleasure to work with on HasCon. It's an honor to be asked to be part of that. And still one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Joe memories, just going back there and being part of that and creating that experience. So we're trying to mimic it as much as we can here. But, Greg doesn't have the budgeting, dollars that has had, right? So, but I think it does pretty good.
I can sell only so much blood at the blood donation center.
They send you home at a certain point.
There's a blood drive set up at DFW in case you want.
There is a blood drive. Yes, right there. Blood drive, and we have Jerry. What's his name? Jerry Lewis's dead corpse there, trying to do a marathon or a telethon too.
We got one of the panels, one of the announcements you did on Facebook here, a live table reading with the Legends of G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero animated series, featuring guests Michael Charles Hill, Lisa Raggio, Zach Hoffman, friend of the program, Mary McDonald Lewis, friend of the program, and Bill Ratner, friend of the program. Be sure to check out this special event with Lisa Raggio, who is Zorana, Zach Hoffman, who, of course, was Zartan, Mary McDonald Lewis, Lady J, and Bill Ratner Flint as they do a table reading of an all-new script written by Michael Charles Hill of Cold Slither fame himself. So there you go. I was available for you to be the voice of Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I was that to reprise my role as Sunbow's Snake Eyes, but apparently I'm not important enough.
I didn't. Greg came up with those panels, so
Right?
a lot of credit to him, and I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to attend that one because I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm the only one who still enjoys the Sunbow's voice of Snake Eyes joke, so it's okay. All right. Cold Slithers 2, The Quickening.
I love the the combination of Zartan Zrana and Lady Jane Flint too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Michael Charles Hill wrote.
I got to read it yesterday. It's nuts, man. It's pretty impressive. He asked if we could find a Cobra Commander voice actor, and I got a friend of mine who does voice act. He did voice. I don't know if he used to do voice acting, still does it. And so he sent me a sample, and it was something like he was Cobra Commander, and he was totally insulting Destro and hoping his face helmet would rust or something. And so I sent it to Michael, and I was like, "Would this work for you?" And he goes, "Oh, this is perfect. This guy's perfect." So
there you go.
So we got some good local talent, but he's got, oh my gosh, he's probably got 25 different characters in some form or fashion, either being nobody or all three of the Dreadnoks. But it's an all new script, man. It's nuts. So I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. So
yeah, it'll be exciting. I think that's one of the things I think Greg and I always talk about is like, creating that experience for the Dallas show. I think that's, to me, it's about that experience, because that's what I always enjoyed about JoeCon was the panels and hearing Kirk Bazigian share all the marketing and all that stuff, and hear these guys chat and talk. And so, with the voice actors, it's one thing to like go talk to them at the booth, but I think to see them in action, I'm excited to see what happens there, especially the new script. I mean, it's one thing to read an old cartoon script or something like that they've done a million times, but this should be a lot of fun in my opinion.
And all those What's on Joe Mind panels at JoeCon, right, Dan? You saw all those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Dan?
Yes, I think so. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been 8 years now?
I'm fishing for compliments.
No, I went to I tried to go to as many panels as I could, especially when I wasn't selling the books. Yeah, I went to, I think, every panel, because I really didn't go to JoeCons to buy stuff. Is more just to see people and go to the panels primarily, when I started going, because I didn't go until the Rhode Island one was my first one, 2010. Right. So from there on, I got hooked, and I always had the convention sets. I had a buddy of mine who always got it for me, but it's nice to kind of go and, buy some extras and try to pay for your trip, as we all like to do with the exclusives. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off with my dumb jokes, Reg. You were going to say something about this panel?
I was just going to say, we were talking earlier about, the guys who worked at Hasbro and stuff like this. And this group of people here, Michael Charles Hill is probably the most humble guy ever. He's still pinching himself that people actually want to talk to him and come see him at shows. He's only recently kind of discovered the fandom, but Lisa was an absolute hoot. Zach was the nicest person last year, and that's why we brought him back again this year. And then Mary is just, oh my God. She, I don't know if you saw, she cut a promo piece for us, and it was just the nicest thing. And just sitting down and talking to them, I was always kind of very apprehensive about talking to people of a celebrity status or whatever like that. But every single person we brought to these shows, you could just sit down and drink a cup of coffee and talk to them. It's amazing.
As somebody who most of these folks have come through our doors, so to speak, the next one we encounter that is a bad time will be the first time. They have all just been like, especially we've had Bill on the show 4 or 5 times. We've had Zach on the show probably 5 or 6 times.
Right.
Once, because she's still working so much. It's just, but they are, each one of them is nicer than the last. So yes. Yeah, just I'll tell you from just going forward, book without fear. because they are just a wonderful bunch of people as a group.
And that's the crazy thing about it is like last year we had Keone Young, and then Greg. We started talking to Greg Berger, and then Greg was like, "Well, what's your contract that you have with these guys?" And I just kind of told him, because we're still kind of more of a handshake and an agreement type of thing. And Greg was like, "Well, whatever the contract you have for Keone, just have mine be the same." So it's been very surreal not going through agents and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, that's Mary contacted us last year, and I was like, "Mary, I'm so sorry. We've got, we've already got 4 people there for the thing, but I'll give you a caller next year." And I gave her a call, and she goes, "Yeah, we're on board. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this show." It's just surreal, how some of these people they're just there to just kind of chill out and be lay back and enjoy the show.
We did dinner. I mean, the dinner we had, Lisa and Michael Charles went with us, and they're hanging out the Hasbro group, and some of them were like, "Who are you guys?" And once they introduced themselves, everybody got along and shared stories, and that's the thing. Even though they're in 2 different places as far as the genre, I mean, they all had a big part of it. So I think that's what's fun about it.
Yeah, it's like a big family after a period of time, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I've been cutting out left and right, so
I had to cut out and blow my nose, so I apologize.
I want to go eat some cake.
Right. I mean, he's got it. Clearly, you have cake waiting.
I have cake waiting. I hope to.
There, of course, are a better look at the Hasbro legends that we've already chatted about some, and were listed on that slide a couple back. Doug Hart. When I met Doug Hart the first time, it was actually at Joe Fest a couple years ago, and it was bad timing on my part because I ran into him right as he was hitting the floor for the first time, and it was just kind of had one of. It's a bad time, Doug. We'll talk later. But, wonderful dude.
Yeah, so some new additions this year. Bill Young. A lot of the guys last year wanted to bring Bill Young on board. Being a fellow vehicle designer and great illustrator. I mean, everybody talks about his illustrations. I've only seen a few, unfortunately, but great, beautiful work. Everybody, figure guys, vehicle guys, all say that. And then Doug, Doug and I reconnected. So he had come to the original reunion years and years ago. And then I learned that I had the wrong number. And then he doesn't use text much. So it's more phone calls and emails. But, we got to connect because he was at Carson's booth at Joe Fest this past summer. It's almost a year ago. So last year. And we connected then. And he actually had him do a commission piece for me because I wanted him to do something for me for years. So we finally connected and got that all sorted out. And, another great guy. And we're really excited about adding those 2 guys, to the mix of the party.
And to mention from before, you talked about Greg Autor working on the Real American Hero collection. He did have a piece back in the 90s. He was a big part of the Hall of Fame collection, the 12-inch line in the early 90s, and had a big part of that. So when you look and see the sales from 1992, it's always this big number, but a big part of that is the work that Greg Autor did on the 12-inch Hall of Fame line. Was a big chunk of those sales. But he was a nice guy too. He used to be in more in the Ohio area, so I had met him at a couple of shows out that way, and I know he has since moved down to your part of the world. So I haven't seen him for a few years. We were chatting with him about coming on, and then kind of stopped doing a show for a little while. So at some point, I'll have to touch base with Greg again, maybe at next year's DFW show.
There you go.
Right
now, you have no excuse.
All coming.
It really all becomes one.
Next year's show is in January when the Cowboys Stadium is empty.
Talking about that all the time.
That's a good one.
You're not gonna hurt my feelings with cowboy jokes. I've given up on the last time that they won. I was in college, so that tells you how long ago that was.
I'm in college now. It's not that hard.
Greg had a clean shaven face, and
I was a baby face. I was back in '90. It was like they won two Super Bowls in a row. They were going to go for a three-peat. They didn't get the third time, and then they came back the following year and got it when Troy Aikman was playing. So that's been eons ago. So,
and then Jake Plummer killed the triplets. Sun Devils, baby.
Yeah. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. What's my namesake?
They named the team after him. Of course, he's a fan.
Yeah, but you don't suck.
Well, they suck. I mean, I'm from Northeast Ohio. They just suck. We know that. So.
They do. I always root for the underdogs. So I was rooting for them, and I always rooted for the Detroit Lions forever. But it was just like you got to root for the sucky team. So I mean, I got my little the little elf guy or whatever with the old logo and everything like that. But Cowboy fans are fair weather. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, because we've been sucking it so long, it's not even funny. So, yeah, you can rag on it; it won't affect me at all.
This is the best episode we've done in years.
Right? No, we ripped on the Cowboys for Mike, the Giants fan. We ripped on the Browns for me, the Steeler fan. Let's go. Wait a minute, Mike. We should do a separate episode just about football. The fans will love it.
Right. They'll complain about it here, and then when we take it off into a different show, they'll follow us and complain about it there.
Yeah.
Mark, where are you originally from again?
Or Western New York. I should have been a Bills fan.
Okay.
But I grew up in the middle of Oregon, 7 hours away from any NFL team. Gotcha. So in the late 70s, you got to pick. I was 4 years old. I was no fool.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to be a Steeler fan. They win all the time. And then they went dark for 30 years.
I mean, Rob and I, we're full Giants fans, right? But even, you'd go talk about late 70s, early 80s, the Giants didn't have any merchandise. So there are pictures of us running around wearing Steelers stuff because that was the closest team to us regionally that bothered to make hats and rings and all that dumb kid stuff.
That's funny. And Mark and I have the Arizona connection.
Yeah.
ASU grad, right? I didn't go to ASU, but I live here. So I always tell him when he comes, because you still have family down here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always tell him to come over. He needs to come over. So I'm going to put you on the spot now in front of everybody.
Oh, yeah. When I come, I'm visiting the in-laws, and I love my in-laws, but everybody needs a break from the in-laws, right?
Exactly. Got to get away from the in-laws.
I got a work meeting.
Yes. Write it off. Write it off.
Man, December's the best time to visit Arizona. It's like 82 degrees. Beautiful.
Exactly.
But yeah, Rob is correct. Most of the time we did have just Yankee stuff. So
that's fair.
That was pretty easy to find. Another one of the this isn't a panel. This is one of the special events that you guys are running on Friday.
Yeah.
Mission: create your own character and vehicle. And this is in addition to the ticket prices. You would have to. This is kind of like a custom class almost. So it is an extra $100, and we'll talk more about ticket pricing in a minute or two. But I wanted to get this in advance for the folks who are thinking about it. But Greg, go ahead and talk about this a little bit.
I'm gonna pass the ball to Dan because this was Dan's baby, and I absolutely love it. And we just Dan, I'll let you take the reins on this one.
All right. Yeah, we're really excited about this one. One of the designers had talked to us, and he talked about him and drawing in front of fans and stuff like that, and just got my wheels turning. And I talked to Greg, I'm like, hey, instead of doing what we normally do, because we do to build a vehicle, on Saturday night generally. So Friday night, the commander's package, they get to come and meet the guys and everybody who's involved on the brand on Friday night, and then Saturday night, to do something fun, have something different. We did the vehicle build for a couple years, but I was like, hey, what about doing something different? Let's mix it up. So I'm excited. I think this is a really cool idea and panel. I'm saying this because I think this is a once in a lifetime thing for many, where you get to work one-on-one with these guys. So the idea is, have a limited amount of people, who can sign up. We have 6 different designers, 3 figures, 3 vehicle designers. So depending on there's going to be like a questionnaire at a time asking, do you want to work on a character? Do you want to work on a vehicle? Do you want what's a genre that you're, do you like jungle characters, Arctic characters? So we're going to have some very, straightforward questions to see what we could do afterwards is pull those people and try to group you, with somebody. So, there'll be Mark Pennington, who'll have hopefully 5 people. Ron Rudat will have 5 people. Kurt Groen will have 5 people. Guy Cassidy will have 5. Frank Corenius 5, and then Bill Young 5. So the goal is to have 5 to 6 people per group. Hopefully, like I said, you'll already have some ideas of like, hey, I this is why I'm in this group, and just let them work as a team. Let them work as a team with the designer and come up with ideas. We want to kind of, just because of the time's sake, you can go around, Mark, you probably know this, for hours and hours just brainstorming ideas. So
sure,
we want to kind of get some of this out of the way ahead of time. So when they come, they can still brainstorm, but some of the basic stuff's out of the way. So it's not about, hey, do we want Arctic or jungle? It's like, all right, you guys are assigned a jungle guy. Now go for it. Like, you talk to Mark and you tell him, what kind of weapons do you want him to have? What kind of uniform do you want him to have? And so to me, it's a really unique experience. I don't know where else you'll be able to do that. And then following the show, all the original artwork will be scanned and will be printed out as prints. And so everybody who participates, so even though I was maybe with Ron's group, I'm still going to get prints of Mark's and Kurt's and Frank's design. So you get a whole packet of at least 6, different renderings that Greg's going to take care of after the show once he gets them printed and stuff like that. So to me, the cost, it may seem high to some, but it's the experience you're getting, and then you are getting something to take from it.
Yeah,
so,
that is incredible value at $100. That is ridiculous.
For a print normally, well, I don't know, what do people usually pay prints at shows? $20?
Hey, 25, 30 sometimes. You're getting 6 of them plus this class with these actual design. No, that's incredible, man.
And they're excited. They're excited to work with the fans. And I think, like I said, we never know who's going to be back next year, who's going to, we don't know anything about, all that stuff with these guys. Just like, just being available, and then also just, travel, like you already said, some people it's already hard to travel. So we never know in the next couple of years how that's going to look. So, I'm excited to be part of it. And just, I think it's a great experience overall. So hopefully people sign up. I know, I think you have a deadline, I think of the 15th, right, Greg, is kind of what we set.
Yeah, we're setting the deadline for the 15th, and people can go to, to the website and go to the admission page and they just pay for it. And then basically all they do is they, on Saturday night, they show up at the Las Colinas Hall, which we'll have directions on how to get over there. And then, like Dan said, we're gonna ask them, okay, is this person going to be a sniper or heavy weapons or something like that? Or they're going to be the Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force. So we're going to filter these things down into these smaller categories. So it's like you said, the brainstorming session has already been done ahead of time. And when Dan came to me about it and we started talking about, doing the prints, and every person who participates gets 6 prints mailed to them. And these are professionally printed, good paper stock prints. It's not like I'm going on my Xerox copying machine and sending it to you.
You wanted to do that originally. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. And they're going to be nice frameable prints. And Dan's absolutely right. Like Kurt Bazigian, he did the first 2 shows with us. And this year he was like, man, I can't make it. He goes, me and my wife, we really want to go on this trip, and this is going to be a good opportunity. And I was like, Kirk, I can't fault you, man. Family's family. So we never know. We reach out to the guys in advance, and we just kind of keep putting feelers at it. But we were very fortunate that 6 of the guys were on board to do these sketches. And I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a really interesting experience.
If we can present one late idea, the Gunny says his scooter is a base. Right? So, the Nerf.
Yeah.
Come on now. Tell me this isn't a winner.
I like it. And the only way to make it feel more authentic is to get someone to play Hasbro upper management to come by and take away 5 of the 6 item count right at the end.
Yeah.
I know it.
It's just your experience.
We do have the marketing. We do have the marketing guys wandering around. So there'll be some people who are not participating, but I have given them the right to go around, and they're like, I don't want to go to I don't want to tell these guys what they're doing right or wrong. But I know like Kunis is going to be walking around, Bernson's going to be walking around, and Bob Swanson, Vinny. So they're going to be walking around too, and maybe throwing some. I think they'll be overhearing what's going on and maybe throwing in some ideas too. So, I mean, you're not just working with the designers, but you do have some marketers there too. Mm-hmm. And, who knows what can come of it. I mean, I just thought of this just now, and there's no confirmation of this, but, if there's a really cool design, maybe, down the road, we work something out. Doug Hart doing a painting of one of them. Who knows? I mean, who knows what can come of it. So that is not part of the package, but I'm just throwing it out there.
yeah. Please clarify that.
Right.
There's no original paintings. But I think it's cool. I mean, you get everybody's. You don't just get who you worked with, but you get the whole shebang as far as all 6 designs. So
it's a really cool concept. I was totally on board when Dan brought this up, because the great thing about it is like, you're thinking as a fan, like, damn, that would be bad. That would be badass, And I was like, let's do it. And when he said all the guys were on board with it, I'm like, let's rock and roll with this thing. So
I was really happy when they all jumped on, because it took a minute, because I was like, I don't know. I'm like, we got to get him on board. We got to make sure we have enough guys on board. And I mean, I was surprised, but I wasn't, I guess. I just didn't know, because some of these guys may have not, designed a vehicle for 20 some years. Bill Young worked at Nike after Hasbro for many, 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 many years. So it'll be cool to see what he can come up with. I mean, I've seen Frank draw things up at JoeCon and just stuff he's drawn. When he was doing some teaching stuff, he'd show me pictures off the whiteboard at school, and he'd be drawing another condor and all this stuff. And these guys are so skilled. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Come on, you've been seeing all of Carson's follow-up work, and that these guys are work animals. Work animals.
Yeah. He has Ron and Mark going.
Also got artist and author Alley. Hey, we know that first guy. He's been on this show before. Josh Eggerby. He sent you a picture of when he was young and groomed. What's up? I could have given you a more recent picture. Come on now. Who is that?
When I met him last year, I was.
He's got to update his PR material. Oh, Greg froze.
Greg froze
hard.
Josh is trying to bring the Unabomber look back.
He's hacking. He's hacking Greg from saying whatever he's about to say. No, great. Josh was awesome last year. I'll give a shout out to Josh. He helped. He met me here in Arizona. I forget. It was like 110 degrees, something crazy that day. And we're loading up this car. He's like, I'll take your stuff to Joe Fest, and then I'll bring it to Dallas, and then I'll bring it back, whatever doesn't sell. And, we loaded this thing up, and I mean, it was to the max, it was filled to the max. And, so I really appreciate him helping out with that. And, we sat next to each other at the DFW show and had a lot of, actually both shows. And, it was just kind of fun to hang around with him all during the shows. So
Josh is a really good dude. I'm busting his chops because I know he's watching this.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
He is the one on the very short list of people who are most likely to send notes about some tiny thing that I forgot that I said. But I will pass along that we have been in contact. There will be a season 2 of Stump Rack Time Rob for everybody out there who is waiting to see the psychosis forming opening sequence of Stump Rack Time Rob. It's coming back, so be ready. But
are you back, Greg?
Huh?
You back?
Yeah, I just keep eating cake. I can't help myself.
You have a little bit right here.
Cake break is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the world's crappiest internet apparently in Texas. So
you're okay. It happens. Some weeks it's me, man. So don't feel bad. And not to short sell the other two gentlemen in the graphic. John Earl, of course, has been doing Joe work for how long? And George Vega as well, a well accomplished sequential artist, as he puts it, on his material.
John has some great great stuff. And then George, funny story about George. I think it wasn't last year, maybe been the year before. I'm sitting over here, I'm getting in my rental, I'm about to go back to the airport, and I see George like with this Uber driver, and the Uber driver's like pretty much telling him, you can't fit that bag in my car. Like, he's like, I paid for, whatever, the XL or whatever. The guy's like, nope. I'm like, that can easily fit in his car. So he left him. So he canceled the ride or whatever. So George is sitting over there, and I just look, I'm like, all right. So I drive over, and I was like, hey, are you going to the airport? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, get in, let's go. I'll take you to the airport. So ended up, hitching a ride with me to the airport, and then I returned the rental after. But that's kind of, I've talked to him. I don't know if we really talked to the show that much because I was busy at my booth and table and other things. But then we connected again last year. So, and then like I said, John, seen him at both shows and stuff like that. And he's getting better and better with his work. So I love seeing his stuff that he's been posting. So.
Yeah, no, it is. Both guys with a good, a nice portfolio, if you will, if you follow them on social media, which we recommend. So getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
Again, we see Friday, May 29th through Sunday, May 31st. I've got the years on there because you never know when people are going to see this. It could be 1,000 years from now. People wonder, well, where the hell? I'm in Irving and I didn't hear anything about this.
Exactly.
You can get all the details at the website there in light blue, dfwjoeshow.com.
Yep.
And as far as times, the Friday sneak preview is from 6 to 8. General admission is Saturday from 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 3. Early bird entry is 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
And as far as cost goes, again, you guys are real reasonable for the amount of time and what you're offering. It's pretty incredible. General admission for Saturday only 15, for Sunday only is 10. Friday sneak preview is 25. Early bird Saturday is 25. Early bird Sunday is 15. But honestly, I got it highlighted there in yellow. Commander's package is where it's at. You get full access to all 3 days, plus a commemorative T-shirt, celebrity meet and greet, which takes place Friday night, and even more. And all of that is only $75. I mean, shoot, even if you're not going to be there all 3 days, it's worth it. I mean, you get a lot less for a lot more from a lot of other shows. So to see all that for $75, I gotta recommend that one. And then we got the 112th vehicle workshop, which I didn't have a slide for, but Dan will let you talk about that in a second. That is an additional 90, and the create a character is an additional 100. But again, that's 6 prints plus the time and expertise and the event itself of all that we spoke about just a few minutes ago. Mark is getting a visit from fourth host. What's on Joe Mine?
The big guy,
Colin, the 72-toed cat.
But yeah, Greg can talk about the vehicle workshop. That's something he's been working together with John and Mikey on.
All right, I'm just going to continue to miss who to pass to on these things.
No, you're fine.
Okay. The vehicle workshop is as part of the commander's package. If you get in on Thursday night, we have 5 commanders workshops that if you can only get into these workshops if you're a commander. One of them's like a photography workshop, one is a diorama building workshop, and one is a figure repair workshop, and one of them is the 112th vehicle workshop, which is with John and Mikey Kukovic from a couple of Coops, JMK, Carlson Longbow. Last year they did a figure workshop, and this year they're doing a 112 scale vehicle, which was the Stiletto. So they're going to be building a Stiletto there. And then, according to John, if you go to their panel that is, I think, on Sunday morning at 10, and you've been to the vehicle workshop, you'll get a bonus item that goes to the Stiletto. So it's kind of a nice thing. Theirs cost money because obviously they're providing material, but the other workshops are really cool because, I mean, figure photography, vehicle photography is something that I think every scale collector will enjoy. Figure repair, diorama building is something I think everyone will enjoy. And so that's kind of an added bonus. I mean, for the $75 that you can participate in 5 additional workshops on Friday morning to the afternoon. So
They're gonna provide a canopy as the bonus. So if you don't go, you don't get the canopy.
You don't get the oxygen. Yeah, you don't get the oxygen mask for the.
You don't get the top part of the shell. You just get the bottom. So.
It's an open top spacecraft. It's
yeah.
And I'm sure Kunitz is loving it because that's a Kunitz design. So I'm sure he's gonna be loving that thing.
They've been talking to him about that. I think that's the reason why they chose it, because, and the other thing is a couple of Kooks sponsored Dave Kunitz. They're the sponsor for Dave Kunitz's appearances here. They totally love Kunitz.
Yeah. And Kunitz loves that type of stuff. I mean, he's more hands-on type of guy. So I don't know when he's coming in and when that workshop is, but if he's there, I wouldn't be surprised he comes in and peeks in and
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pop in there.
Yeah, pop in and do something. So
I'm going to pop back a slide just because it's got the website on it, so that folks can take that down. Maybe pop it open another window if they're on the fence at this point. I would hate to think you're making last minute travel plans, but hey, maybe if we're within 2 or 3 hours of the Dallas area, or 4 or 5 hours, you could still get in for the weekend, I'm sure. But what have we not asked you about with the show?
I'll say this: other panels. So we talked about the subgroups. We have a panel of, I don't know what the official title is. I had him on here, but didn't save him, I think. But essentially, it's I'm going to go the working names. How's that? But essentially, it's if I could do it over. So majority of the guys are going to talk about like, hey, if I can go back and I'm just looking at, I don't know, a vehicle in front of me, the Mean Dog, which I don't think is one of them. But if I can go back and redesign a Mean Dog, what would I do differently? Or maybe some of the things that were costed out. So some things that were, some things people may know, and some things they may not know that were either costed out or if they could redo it. So that's one panel. That'll be a long panel. And then
that's a panel that you need to have Mark Weber at next year is all I'm saying.
That's my whole career.
Cost cutting. Yeah. And then we have the subgroups. And then the last one that we're doing, so it's Dave and Kurt Grown and Greg Bernstein leading it. And it's really around building a successful toy line or successful boys action line. And so Dave takes all of his experience, working at Hasbro. He also worked at Mattel. And I'm trying to think if he worked somewhere else, but he's coming in and, he put together this PowerPoint, put together a lot of the design layout and helped out with that. But he did the majority of the work, and he's going to just kind of walk people through that. And I think it's going to be interesting because it's an insider look, as far as from his point of view and what it takes to make a successful boys action figure line. And some of he'll talk about some of the things, mistakes that have been made and who knows what someone can take from this, and maybe we'll see another line of some sort stealing some of these ideas that Dave's going to share out. So we're excited. I mean, I think we have a solid panel. I mean, each year we're doing 4 different panels. So, coming up with new ideas, it could be challenging at times, just to keep it fresh. The first year we did, what never came out, essentially, like unproduced stuff. So that's always a favorite, and we'll bring that back. And I think in the future, and Greg and I have already talked about potentially different guests, to add on to next year, whatever, the case may be, and maybe some other departments. So we're looking at maybe bringing in some other areas and doing some panels around that, whether it be, sculpt or the model shop. Yeah, stuff like that. So we're excited to continue expanding and see what we can do. So
real quick, I know we've kept you guys a little bit long, but Josiah Alcorn with a question for you guys. If you could change the scale of any toy line, what would you choose? And I'm going to assume that means either you're taking something on G.I. Joe and scaling up, or it's taking anything else and scaling it to 3 3/4, or however you want to answer this. Feel free. Don't feel limited by the scope of our show.
So if I can rescale something, Greg, do you have anything?
I'm going to be the odd one on this one. I always had a soft spot for Sigma 6. My son played with it, and I think it would be kind of cool to see Sigma 6 going in down in 1/18 scale, and just see how that line would look. So But that's more of a sentimental thing because when my son was growing up, it was WWE and Sigma 6. And so I always kind of thought it was kind of like the redheaded stepchild of
Hey,
the line. Hey, my dad's a redheaded Irishman, man.
that's racist.
Jeez, Greg.
Man.
I didn't tell him he had no soul. Like, come on.
Even Colin wouldn't stay for that. He's like, nah, bruh.
For me, I mean, I would love to see. I'd love to see the original O line, like that whole the whole O-ring looking line done at 6-inch scale. So I think it'd be interesting to see. So it'd be like a 2-up or Paintmaster, but not quite because it wouldn't be as tall as a Paintmaster, a little bit shorter, but really kind of like Gentle Giant, but not as big. But kind of do that. I think it'd be fun to see that as a line, to be honest with you. Kind of a shout out.
That was fun, but please, somebody tell me what the point was.
I like Greg's point though, because Sigma 6 did greenlight a different scale that nobody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Think of all the tooling dollars wasted there. That I can't even imagine. I would love to. I have no insight on that. But the discussion where they went, well, we're going to keep going with the standard scale, but we're going to bring in a different scale. And everybody who in the know had to be like, hot damn, we're going to do 3 3/4 and we'll hit both segments. The guys who love the new stuff and the guys who won't buy it because it's not 3 3/4. Like, we're going to go 2.5 with limited articulation. It's going to be big.
Right.
You're like,
I would have loved to seen Sigma 6 in just in a real American hero kind of sensibility. It would have been fun. I'm not saying I needed the whole line to go that way, but it would have been for a year's worth. It would have been a good time.
Yeah,
with a cartoon that made sense. It would have been amazing.
God forbid. Look, for all of the apologizing Justin Bell has done for Sigma 6 over the years, I have to say he's true. He's right in that the second season was much better than the first. The problem is the first season came first. And then real quick, just last one before we let you guys go. If you could see any IP get the Super 7 Reaction Plus treatment, what would it be?
Like any IP?
Sure.
And why is it the real Ghostbusters? Yeah.
But wait. Anyway, move on. Ignore me. Go ahead.
No, I have two brothers that are older than me. They're 11 and 13 years older than me. And so I got their hand-me-downs. And one toy line that really fascinated me was Major Matt Mason. And I've always been surprised. I know that there was talk about that they were going to possibly do a movie, and then Mattel was kind of throwing it out there. But I always thought that was a property that would, I just think, I don't know. I grew up, wanting to be an astronaut when I was a kid. And I wanted to go to space camp in Alabama and stuff like that. And I just thought Major Matt Mason, at least for the first year, when they started doing the aliens, they got a little wonky. But when they were doing those first guys, I just thought that was such an interesting concept. Now, I'm not a 5 POA kind of guy, but, I do, I think doing it in an articulated type of figure would be kind of cool. But I know it's totally not G.I. Joe, but I like it. God forbid, Master of the Universe has done every single type of figure out there. That you can imagine, but I always just thought Major Matt Mason was such a cool concept that nobody's really touched. So,
Reactions the 5 is it the 5 point?
Well, we'll call it Reaction Plus, and that's these guys with the
O-ring, right? Okay.
Old school Hasbro type build.
I never know that I like the Ultimates. Honestly, I thought those were kind of cool.
Yeah, the bigger ones. Yeah.
For me, I mean, I would love to see like some of the unproduced stuff that Hasbro didn't come out with in the 80s and 90s. I'd like to see some of those concepts brought back. Maybe Super 7 do those. Other than that, as far as an other IP, I mean, I think someone's doing Cops right now. I think.
Yeah.
Fresh Monkey, I believe.
Fresh Monkey, yeah.
So even like I think back like even something like Inhumanoids or Dino Riders. You know how you get away with that, but something like those obscure lines. I mean, we got Mask now coming back, Loyal. subjects and stuff. So I'm trying to think of some other IPs that I had played with a kid that we haven't seen anything really come out. Never really had air raiders. I don't know many people that did, honestly. No offense. There's some. I've come across some really cool artwork for a line called Tribes, but the figures themselves is glorified He-Man essentially. With some interesting things, but I'd say Inhumanoids or what's it called, Dino Riders. I think would be fun to see. So.
Dino Riders would be fun. If you kind of plugged what Boss Fight did with their dinosaur line, that kind of always struck me as inspired by Dino Riders or Dino Saucers or whatever. Both really. But gentlemen, that's what we got for you. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know Greg has cake waiting.
Not anymore. Rated all.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's what he was doing in that frozen time.
Freeze.
But, we gotta let you go. We got to get to the news because we got to kick these guys out of here because they got to be up early in the morning.
Sure.
Thanks, guys.
Any last words you got for us?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Any last words you got for us?
Hey, let's stay in touch, man, because we'd really love to have both you guys. I'm really my interest is peaked now with Mark now on what he has going on in that red-headed noggin of his. So. Definitely let's talk to each other.
Yeah, I can do a panel. All the cool stuff they didn't let me do. Yeah.
Hey, do it. You got pictures, Mark?
Maybe.
That's one thing I think unfortunately it's been lost was some of the communication back and forth. I have a lot of original memos and stuff like that from back in the day. I know everything was electronic and locked down for the most part. After email and all that jazz, but I don't know. It'd be fun to see some of the more current post 2000 memos,
right?
And learn some of the changes that you guys have made. But I appreciate having us on, and we're really looking forward to seeing everybody. Like I said, Greg puts on a great show, and when he asked me to come join him and the team and be part of it, I was excited to be part of it and get these guys involved. And really, anybody knows me, it's all about honoring the team and recognizing them for all their hard work and their efforts. So to be part of it, again, the experience is what I'm trying to create. Greg's on the other side of the house with the business side of making a toy show profitable so you can continue doing it.
Just to chime in, you guys are seeing the price that we're putting out there. I mean, we're not in this to make money. I mean, basically the money we do make basically goes into the next year, for everything that happens. But
costs to do stuff, Greg. It's okay.
But there's two things with me, and Dan and I have always been on the same page, is the experience. We want people to have a great experience at the show. We want them to be able to buy the toys, that they had when they were younger or whatever like that. But on the flip side, it's also, to me, it's about preserving the legacy. I truly feel that that people like Dave and Greg and Mark, they shaped the childhoods of many people out there. And I was very unfortunate. I was born in 71, so I got to experience Adventure Team. I got to experience Super Joel. I got to experience Real American Hero. But when I was going to the Brian shows, I was so engrossed in setting up a booth and everything. I didn't get to meet Don Levine or Petrucci or any of those guys, and now they're gone. And so when bringing Dan on board and getting these guys on board to preserve that legacy and let people talk to these people and just get behind the scenes of it, to me, I think is paramount, So yes, do we want to make money? Most definitely. But just being able to sit down and talk to these guys and listen to these guys, to me, is priceless. And I know that sounds cheesy as hell, but it's honest to God, it's how I feel about doing this show.
Yeah, so. We have many conversations where it's like two little schoolboys all excited to be talking and asking questions, and again, sometimes we're like, oh well, we should ask. Yeah, we should, and then we get all excited and it's like, yeah, let's do that. So, but. No, it's been a great experience, and Greg's been a great partner with this in a sense from my standpoint. I know he has a full team over there, helping him, but
yeah, we do.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun just doing my part of, my role with all this. And so,
I'll say, if you can figure out a way to get Mark Webber to stop talking about it, let me know.
I mean,
we'll give him 2 panels.
Right. Oh, nice. The second one will be interpretive dance.
Right. This is a family show, Mark. So.
Yeah, pants on. I charge more. You couldn't afford me with the pants off. No way.
There's a list for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the pay-per-view event.
Right.
If you're on the fence, the DFW G.I. Joe Ed action figure show is happening at the end of the month, May 31st through May 29th through the 31st. That is Friday through Sunday. That is the week after Memorial Day, in Irving, Texas, at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport Marriott. Be sure to visit the website. We had it up before. It is dfwjoeshow.com. Greg Brown, Dan Klingensmith, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. I really appreciate the time.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Hey, and we will be right back with you after a quick word from our wonderful friends at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
And if any of you out there have questions or answers to the questions that were posed to our guests as far as what would you like to see rescaled or what would you like to see as a reaction plus, we got the big boy comments down below. Be sure to leave your answers there. It's always fun to hear what you guys are thinking about. Racktime Rob is back on the program.
Kind of.
I was in a nameless, shapeless void,
just floating around. It was like purgatory.
Yeah.
Rob coming to us from the Phantom Zone. That's good.
Right. He's a little out of focus still. It'll eventually crisp up as his computer gets used to our dimension again.
Rob's been
drinking. Jor-El will kneel before Zod.
Rob's been drinking for 90 minutes. He should be a little blurry.
Well,
I'm looking at the middle screen.
He better sober up. It's time for the news. Ask you tonight, but make sure you're doing all that cool YouTube stuff. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to share us in your social media circles. Leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. I hate asking, but when I don't ask, nobody does it. And since we got a cool graphic here from Paul Sidaway, you guys are subscribing more often. It's weird how that works. So please continue. I appreciate all of you coming through. I know Mark and Rob do as well. Just do all that cool YouTube big boy stuff, and we'll keep growing this bad boy. Might make it worth the while, right? We might go from a 2-bit show to a 3-bit show.
Oh boy, 3.0. It'll be big.
I don't think we can handle more than 2.5 bits.
Probably.
Regardless, when we upgrade, it's going to be buggy as hell.
Yeah. Anyways, first news item.
Dude. We're in a hurry.
Right? We're kind of.
Yeah.
Good thing nothing happened this week, but we will continue to plug for our friend Jim Marshall. International Hero Guidebooks 1 and 2 completely funded. It is good to go. They are still doing late pledges. They will continue to for another couple of months. They are working towards the 32,000 pound level, which unlocks Action Force Redo issue 6. Issue 5 got passed last week, so congratulations to Jim there. Make sure you're keeping an eye on it. If you haven't pledged already, be sure to give it a look, because again, it'll be open for a little while. If you have pledged it, maybe you can pledge a little more, but give it a look. Next news item. Oh, right, I forgot. You can, if you need more details, we talked to Jim on camera for a couple weeks ago, back in episode 379.
You wasted dudes.
I did. Oh, I didn't waste dudes. But now it's next news item.
Dudes don't FaceTime dudes. Dude.
That interview at the Big Show was great, by the way.
I love that bit.
Oh God. We're already into comics. Tells you how much happened in the world of G.I. Joe last week. But Skybound's Energon Universe 2026 special is out for sale tomorrow. There was a free version that was available last week. There's really nothing different in this version that there was in the one from pre-comic book day.
Other than a price tag.
It's just going to cost you $5 instead of being a handout. But it does contain stories with Mask, Transformers, Void Rivals, and G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe one is kind of important. You may want to pick this up because I think it sets up a lot of where the book is going to be going over the next 10, 15, 20 issues.
I didn't get this. I didn't get out on Free Comic Day. Is this the length of a standard size comic?
I think so.
About?
I believe the cover price is $3.99 on there.
Okay.
So that's what you're paying for a normal issue of any one of those books anyway. I think these individual stories are the Mask one felt a little longer, but I don't think any of them go longer than 6 pages or 8 pages.
Okay.
I'd have to go through it again. They were all well done enough.
No, I'll have to pick it up Wednesday.
Yeah, the Transformers was kind of short, but I think the other 3 were decent length.
I'm curious to see how much they can not get done in 6 pages of Void Rivals.
There's a lot of talking.
I bet.
There's a lot of talking.
I bet there's a lot.
It's a lot of talking. But in fairness, the G.I. Joe story is all talking too. It's just important. It's an important conversation.
Yeah, but it's talking between characters you care about.
Right.
Yes, very much so.
Actually, quite a bit, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Important characters. Well, the Void Rivals one, those characters are kind of important to the sense of their story. But anyway, I'll quit trying to sell you on Void Rivals because I know it's A, not possible, and B, bad television.
But good shtick.
It's great shtick. I mean, and part of it too, it feels disingenuous because of all of the 4 of these books. The one I could drop tomorrow and not feel that bad about would kind of be Void Rivals at this point.
Yeah, and hey, I was with it for like 20 issues, so it isn't just like me picking on something that I don't know about. Whoa, look at that!
Right, bring Springer back and we'll talk. Right, that's
Love
all.
Remember when he couldn't beat up that 5 foot tall guy? That was awesome.
Hey, Mark, you're a pro wrestling fan. Sometimes you got to sell for the little guy.
Hey, Springer, here's an idea. Step on him.
Use your springy legs and just jump on him.
You turn into a helicopter, right? Just okay.
Oh my. Anyways. But good times in the Energon Universe 2026 special. If you didn't catch one Sunday, go on, get yourself one tomorrow. The week after, on May 13, that is a Real American Hero 328. Big Don Moreno issue. It looks like we're getting back to the main story and away from some of these one-shot issues that we've had the last couple of months. But that's okay. It's time. It's time to get back to business. Larry Hama.
Cleanse the palate every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, it's G.I. Joe. You got to have a mission once in a while. Larry Hama, of course, back at the writing desk. Andrew Kroenke on art with Francesco Segala providing color. And again, according to the advanced previews, heavy Dawn Moreno issue, where she learns a lot about her past and the past of Snake Eyes and doesn't appear to be real happy about too much of it.
This is a special Rob Liefeld cover.
Well, I mean, she's not standing behind anything.
No, but that foot damn near makes the panel. Damn near.
Close. It's close. Mm-hmm. It's close. He would approve. I don't know if it's really technically a Rob Liefeld cover because it's good.
Yeah, because the body proportions seem kind of accurate.
Right. But he would certainly approve because no feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 1 week from tomorrow on May the 13th. So be sure it's on your pull list and ready to go for that. Up for our Skybound calendar, of course, tomorrow we've also got Transformers Trade Paperback Volume 5. Also on May 13, Real American Hero Trade Paperback Volume 5 and Transformers Issue 32. And then on May 20, Energon G.I. Joe moves to issue 22.
Ooh,
Mark Weber.
that graphic's amazing.
You know what it does best? It has the Skybound logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it stays there. And you know why? Because it's all one piece now. I told you, what's it called?
PowerPoint.
I told you I would win. I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Diana Davis from the Skybound staff tells us 328 is a cracking good issue.
With a guest appearance by Gromit, apparently.
It's the issue before 329 where Beachhead is revealed as the Ranger Master.
Yeah. It's revealed as Patrick Duffy. What?
TV's Patrick Duffy?
Look, man, I got Larry Hagman in this week's thumbnail because if I didn't, Gary Godso would probably disown us.
That's fair.
And so, I couldn't. When your show, when you spent so many episodes of a show hosting with the biggest Dallas fan this side of your own mother,
and not Dallas sports.
No, not Dallas.
The show.
Absolutely not Dallas sports, but Dallas the TV show. Man, that's Gary Godso's jam. So we had to get some Larry Hagman in the thumbnail this week. Abso-damn-lutely. But and it's going to cost us too because it's not CGI bullcrap. So people aren't going to click on it. But you know what? I don't care. I got 1,600 of you guys, and you're my people.
Mm-hmm.
You get where we're going. We get where we're coming from. You get that's.
Oh, you kids!
I just stole your bit, Weber. See,
That's fair.
See that right
That's
there?
gimmick infringement. Whatever.
A little bit. Next news item.
Dude.
Hey, we got a date on the swag shop. That is happening May 7 through the 10. So I will have the new logo up tomorrow night on late on the 6th because I don't want to throw the logo up there and have people who didn't necessarily watch the show go and buy it when it's not on sale. Like I figure first crack, let's get this rolling when we're having the big TeePublic sale. So be patient. I will have it up there probably tomorrow night as late as I can get it up there before I go to bed myself. Because getting me to do stuff for the show on Thursday and Friday is a little rough because of my schedule. We'll do our best to. So just try to remember, pass the word around. Don't buy it till the 7th. That's when it goes on sale.
This week, new logo.
Logos.
The logos is next week, Space Pants.
That's right.
Oh,
Sweatshirts, mugs, magnets, stickers, gym shorts, space pants. Link is below in the description. And of course, these guys will be available. You can see we've got the gold standard as shown on J.R. Ewing's hat in the thumbnail, and the red, white, and blue steel. That is happening with both of these will be available later this week. Our 15th anniversary logos from our friend and designer Cullen Davis. Again, excellent job, sir.
Yeah.
$328 is cracking good.
Cracking.
I don't know why that struck the way it did, but it did. But Jim Smith answered my question from before. 18 pages of Mask, 4 on Transformers, 6 for Rivals, 6 for Joe, 34 total. So yeah, I thought Mask seemed a little long, but it is the one where the most stuff happens. So fair enough. It's a nice prologue for what's coming in June with Mask #1. Next news item.
Ran it together.
Our Our G.I. Joe FundMe's still down there in the description. Roger Taft and his ongoing eye goo issues. That has happened down there. We've got Jamie Sullivan and his foot surgery. Cousin Kenny from the toy department and his ongoing the fallout from his legal drama. And of course, Diana Davis's monster vet bills, all still down there. If you've got $1 or $2 or $3, just send that along. Every little bit helps. These folks would not be asking for money if there just were no other ways to get these things paid. It's tough times right now for everybody. We understand. And I know we spend a lot of time telling you to buy toys, telling you to go to shows, telling you to buy T-shirts with our new logos. Mm-hmm. We understand all that stuff. So if you've got anything you can spare, go for it. If you don't, grab the link from down below, spread it around, because maybe you know somebody who does. And that is all we can ask you to do is thank you for the time, consideration, and if possible, your donation. We appreciate it. Next news item. Remember to kick off your summer with us. That's not the week before, the week after Memorial Day. That's the weekend of Memorial Day, baby. At least Ragtime Rob and me, I think. I don't know. Rob, are you going to this or what?
I thought I was.
Okay, I don't know. I forget. It's tough for me to keep track of things. I'm busy sometimes. Diana Davis notes that Cullen is at the Hollywood Bowl ushering a Louis C.K. show. He does not like Louis C.K. Not many of us do anymore. But we'll be at the Holiday Inn Cincinnati North in Westchester, Ohio. That is 10 to 4 on Sunday, May 24. $5 to get in. $10 gets you in an hour early at 9. Over 150 tables, door prizes every hour. And, of course, parking, as with all the great shows, is free. So come on out and join us. Kick off your summer with What's on Joe Mind. Maybe if you order a shirt on the 7th, it may get to you in time for this thing. Last time I ordered from the TeePublic site, they got it to me pretty damn quick. So you might have the same luck. Come out and visit us.
And Rob, if you're busy or have a conflict, Mike has other brothers, He can go down the depth chart.
They're not going.
From What's on Joe Mind, it's Mike Rosari and Stinky. Hey, welcome to the show.
Stinky's a sister.
I know. I'm just saying he has options.
We got Little Jim, the 46-year-old guy who's like 270 pounds.
The boy.
Little Jim. Joe on Joe podcast just got here. Can we restart? No.
No time for that gang.
None of
Dr.
that.
Jones.
No, thank you, sir. But again, if you're anywhere close to the Midwest, Cincinnati's real easy to get to from any number of directions. Come on out and see us. Help the Ohio Toy and Comic Show get back off the ground and airborne. Let's make this a big one. Let's make this an event. Come join us. Charlie Garrison's going to be there on the 24th. There we go. That was expected, though.
Joe Burrow's going to be there, maybe. Health permitting.
He might pull a hammy.
He's concussion prone, so I'll try and hit him in the midsection.
Do the Giants play the Bengals this year?
Not before May 24th. Sometimes news happens and it's not Tuesday. If it's last week, it's not even on Tuesday. It doesn't happen at all. But for all those days when we're not here, you can get your news from the Surveillance Port. That's at surveillance-port.com. Eric does a great job of getting the new daily news out there, making sure that it's as accurate as he can possibly make it. There's no sensationalism at the Surveillance Port.
No.
As much as we like to joke around with those guys, Eric does it right, and that's why we endorse him here. For days when there isn't a whole lot of news, he'll get you directed to review sites and or rather reviewers and videos and things you might enjoy that are also associated with this great hobby of ours that maybe we don't do here at What's on Joe Mind. So make it a favorite in your browser, surveillance-port.com. Why did he take the tough one to spell? I don't know, but there it is. Surveillance-port.com. Maybe pause the video and take a screen cap and then move on. Surveillance-port.com.
It was probably because buzzbore.com was taken.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'd have taken that one.
Not bad.
Yeah. Next news.
Somewhere out there, Buzz Dixon is like, you're goddamn right, Buzzbore's taken. Oh, next.
He's been trying to sell it to us. Are you kidding me?
Right? Yeah. I sunk all my money into alt.black.com/conspiracy/helicopters.
Right.
Next news item.
And of course, G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast brings you chunky tech hit in his Mallard tank. Be sure to catch the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast every Sunday at noon Eastern Time as the boys tackle their new project. I know this past Sunday they finished up on the Fang 2. So they'll do kind of just a general episode this coming week, and then the following week, new project. God only knows. I know on Mark's show on Monday, he was messing around with the shark a bit. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch the part that I missed. So maybe he's doing more stuff with the shark. You know, that's one of the great moments in this show, and that we start talking about projects, and he just whips out this 2-seater gigantic ass classified scale shark. Just had it sitting around. And that's really the joy of having Mark Gerwig on this program, because you just never know what's coming next.
Someday he'll drive in on a life-size Shark 9000. You just bring it up.
With working water cannon.
Yep. So, players.
And that's all we got for the news. Oh, I'm missing the button. Hang on. There we go. All right. So, just plain old Jay. Sorry I'm late. Can you start from the beginning again? No, we can't. It's not even the first time we got this joke this episode. So no.
This is the third time,
right? Where's Phil and Phil? Is he in Parts Unknown in Disneyland? Probably. Probably. My wager is he is lost. It is kind of strange, especially after the last year when we turn to Phil quite often. That we have not used Phil for a couple of months, but I assure you, we have been in contact. We just haven't put him on the show for a whole lot.
He's probably passed out on Small World again because they just let him keep riding it because. Come on.
Overdosed on war surplus hand witches.
That's it.
Hand witches. What was it? We were talking about the hand witch this week.
It was the Panera salad into their loaves.
Right.
Of bread.
Panera Bread is essentially trying to sell us the world famous Disney World hand witch, where they just empty out the end of a bread and dump a bunch of salad in it. Yeah, right. It just come on.
I'm not against the concept, but just
right.
The filling, right? Could we get meatballs or barbecue or something? Come on.
I mean, it's a salad with chicken in it, like grilled chicken bits and stuff. But yeah, no, I hear you.
I don't know. I don't know if I want a chicken Caesar salad sandwich.
Yeah. It's just that's a little too much. Even
it's a hat on a hat, as my friend would say.
Kind of. In the sandwich world, yeah,
kind of is.
Yeah, like even it's just it's too much. It's too much. Too busy.
It's more like I don't know. It's like peanut butter jelly in your wallet. Should that go in there? Probably not.
I just can't believe that thing exists and we still don't have a Honda Lou or a Raven figure.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
I didn't get a whole lot in. Do you guys have anything that you just want to absolutely have to share?
I got one thing.
Okay.
But Rob's got something good.
All right. I don't care.
Somebody
go.
Look, it's Joe related. If you're following the Energon universe. Woo!
Is he frozen for you too, or is that just me?
Totally frozen.
All right, because let me
That'll fix it.
this worked for it worked for Greg earlier.
Was so mean, Mike.
Oh my God, Rob froze out.
I did.
Whoa.
There's
On.
Yeah, there's no video for you, Rob, just audio.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I'm mad at Mike and I for not looking up like it was the Muppet operating room. Because Ghost Rob has now taken over the program.
So I didn't get anything Joe related. I just have a funny story. And those of you who follow me on Facebook on my personal page will know it already. But I had to pick up some cords for my my phone chargers because they wear out after time. You break them, and I wound up stopping at the Five Below because I knew it wouldn't be a real big store, and I could just go and get new cords there. All right, just plain old Jay pointing fingers, but dude, he's on. Oh, hey, hey, he's returned. You could see he was clearly on the screen.
I could hear myself and you guys just fine.
Right. Look, we could hear you.
I could see myself on the thing. I don't know what was going on.
But so I, of course, had to stop at the Five Below, and while I was there, make a quick stop for Old Guy Candy.
Oh yeah,
which is the best part of Five Below. It is the reason to go to Five Below is Old Guy Candy. And because what spurred this on was we had a talk at work where most of the people I work with are under the age of 30, and even like stretch it out for like an even greater percentage are under 40.
Punks.
And they had no idea what the 100 grand bar was.
that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a top 10 candy bar. This is no joke right here. The 100 grand bar must be honored. So I made sure to grab one of those, and I got myself the good version of a Butterfinger bar, the Fifth Avenue.
Ooh.
Why is it so much better than Butterfinger? I don't know. It just is.
It's genetics.
Right. I mean, get yourself to Five Below, grab yourself Fifth Avenue, and it'll prove itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or they changed the Butterfinger and made it just frankly gross. This is what they used to taste like, and it was incredible. You owe it to yourself to do that. And then one I had never heard of before. Absolutely no clue what this is, and I'm kind of anxious to try it. It is the Goldenberg's Peanut Chews, and it says on the label since 1917. So this has been that bad boy.
Yeah, that bar's expired, Mike.
Right. It's been around since the war, and I mean the first war.
Nah.
And so what I wanted to do real quick was I'm going to try one of these here.
That's the candy bar.
No. Bret Hart hates the Goldenberg bar. Hates it.
Well, I mean, it gave him a concussion, so I understand. Like he's generally a nice guy, but he wasn't the safest worker in the day. So I kind of get where Bret Hart's coming from.
Try a bite of it, but watch the kick.
Right. Now, this is Goldenberg. And there's kind of that miscolored I've been sitting around too long film on there.
Why is it gray?
It's a little gray.
It's not milk chocolate. It's not dark chocolate.
It's got that white stuff on it.
It's gray chocolate.
It's got that old chocolate film on it, but we're going to try it.
Is that Topps bubblegum?
It's Ashy Larry.
So bad. Be prepared to take over, Rob.
Rob's phone is set to 9-1.
Like Nana Van Houten. I'm always prepared that way.
It's not bad. It's kind of like
it's the Ron Rudat bar, kind of dusty.
It's like if you put a little slab of a caramel candy and wrapped it in a Mr. Good bar. Like it's got chopped up peanuts and kind of like this caramel center. Excuse me as I spit all over the place. and the chocolate on the filmy chocolate on the top is the worst part of it.
Right?
I
bet.
It doesn't taste like anything, but the inside of it's kind of nice. So I'll give out of 10. I'll call Goldenberg's Peanut Chews. It's like a 5. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not upset about it.
Makes me wish I had more hands.
Right. Rack time, Rob. You can try one of these.
No.
You know, I don't feel like going to work today.
Dude, I have a brother. Anytime your brother offers you some of his food that quick, run, man, run.
I didn't hide it in a glass of milk on him, so
right. That son of a bitch. He didn't even get in trouble for that.
Look,
parents,
I didn't live to this age without being wise to their shenanigans.
Right. My parents didn't even know how to punish my brother because he never did anything wrong.
Look, I know how that is, man, because Rack Time Rob down there, he was the oldest, of course, and he just never did anything.
Yeah, well, let me put it this way. I also never put your retainer in milk. So.
Solid rip.
Oh, it's because I was generally wearing it.
Yeah, and I didn't have a retainer because I never needed braces.
Yeah. Diana Davis, full on $100 grand stand. I'll respect that.
Yeah, I may have to run at the Five Below for $100 grand bars.
Yeah,
go ahead, Mark.
I think that's arguable, but I think it's inarguable that it's the most underrated.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like I hate to be basic Betty. I'm a Snickers guy, but $100 grand, absolutely a top 10. Absolutely a top 10 candy, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Was it worth the risk? Yeah, it was. It's okay.
No,
it's okay.
No,
it's all right. It's Five Below, 3 for $5 candy. It's okay. Also got a couple of Hershey's Nutrageous or Reese's Nutrageous. Those are awesome with the pretzel.
No, I thought it was the Take 5, the one with the pretzels.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah. I wanted Nutrageous, but they were out.
Mm.
So it's the Take 5 with the pretzel.
Yeah.
But that's really what I got is a bunch of old guy candy.
3 for $5.
You can't beat old guy candy. I'm really looking at like the 100 these two. Oh yeah, because I know these are that's an 8 and that's a solid 7.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're doing it the right way. That's why they put Dino Bravo and Don Morocco earlier on the card.
Right, because that's how you. That's right. It's you get Tito Santana in your opener because it's a solid worker, but nobody's talking about that when the show's over. He's just there to get the crowd going.
Yeah.
Get the crowd going for the stars. And the funniest part of that conversation that we had about the $100 grand bar is that the uppity young people in the office were not only had not heard of the candy, they were also unimpressed by the amount of money the candy was named at. And I said to them, just flat out, just to the entire room, I said, I would punch any one of you 5 times in the face for $100,000. Any one of you, possibly all of you. And they didn't know if I was serious or not. But I kind of was. I'm not a violent.
There's some days you just want to punch people that age for the candy bar, let alone the money.
$100,000 solves a lot of problems.
Right. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it like 5 in a row, though. I'd want to get them once and then go, that's 1. And then make them wait.
I don't know if I'd be able to stop. I got there's a lot of rage, Mark.
Fair.
A lot of rage. Anyhow,
disaffected youth.
Anything you got to share, Mark? Any old man?
Just one. Just one, man. We'll do it quick. But look at this guy. Look at this little jammy.
All right, there we go. Get some
ramp rats.
Little ketchup and mustard. Not bad. Just got in today. Haven't opened it yet. Now the quick take. I don't know. They look kind of cheap. I'll have to give them a better look because it's unfair to judge them in the package.
Right. Because you know who keeps their stuff in the package? People who are wrong.
I just got this today. I forgot.
Oh, hang on. I'm done. Back to Rob.
Rob's frozen, so it doesn't matter.
No. See, anytime I show something, I'm freezing up. Chameleon.
You're a bum. Cooter's Garage, so long as the Five Below candy doesn't take me out with another illness, then look, I'm with you there. Five Below candy is going to cause any sinus infections, but sure. I didn't.
You just ate a dusty chocolate bar from 1917, Mike.
I'm going to eat another one.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have another
You know, that's an awful modern design for a 1917 wrapper. I'll give him credit.
Right. There's
Very
no
forward thinking.
There's no lead foil involved. What's that all?
I'm just a little nervous that the asbestos in the packaging had started to dust down onto the top of the bar.
Flame retardant licious. Am I hogging the internet? Yeah, kind of.
Maybe.
Good wholesome chemicals.
The Goldenbergs, people. They're taking it all.
Rob, save it up for that 28.8 modem. It's going to be big game changer.
Beep, 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 beep. Gonna put my phone down on it and watch it go.
Yeah.
Rack time, Rob. Give us some shout outs.
Shout outs to the studio audience. Hey, thanks for coming.
Right. You got to get your shout outs in before you freeze up again.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd go a little bit longer so I could get the peanut chew out of my teeth.
Nope.
That's going to be a problem.
Nope, that's scheduled for Thursday.
I got a date with one of those little placard things that you.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
The one that looks like a dinosaur.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But is that all you got, Rack time, Rob?
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed.
Right. Honcho Mark Weber, shout it out.
Hey, let's give a shout out to the lovely Elizabeth who killed it at prom this weekend, right? Yeah. All right.
Killing it at a prom.
Yeah, she had prom. I actually let her go.
All right. Well, I mean, she is a junior now, Mark.
Mm-hmm. The trick to trusting your kids at prom is hosting the after party at your own house.
My folks do that one too.
There you go. So to the 30 or so kids that were running around here, go home. It's midnight. Jeez.
Get out, you little urchins.
I know tonight was magic, but it's done. Beat
The
it.
clock has struck midnight.
Beat it.
We're back to pumpkin.
Still getting glitter off the floor. Man.
Oh, man. Even in the man cave?
No, I kept them out of here pretty much.
All right, good.
But I should shout out to Colin.
Right.
Just in case he's coming back.
Yeah, he appears to be. Now that
It was dusty candy.
now that you are no longer being racially targeted by
Right?
propaganda.
Holy smokes. Out of nowhere.
Poor Greg. He probably thinks you insulted him for real.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh,
You don't know us very well.
They invite you to the show next year. Make sure you.
Yeah, out of guilt. maybe he won't file that lawsuit.
Oh, but there's our boy. There's Colin. He seems relaxed. He's back. He's good. I will reiterate Rack Time, Rob. Shout out. Thank you so much for the folks who join us week after week after week. If you're catching us on.
Whoa. What was that? How do you spell that?
The Revenge of the Peanut Chew.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump right into one of those, baby.
Pretty soon, the medical officers hold him down on the table, and guess what?
Whoa! Big old piece of
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
big old piece of peanut chew fell out of my back teeth there. But if you're on Replay Squad, we thank you just as much. You count just the same. Thank you so much for joining us and taking stock of the DFW show with our lovely guests, Greg Brown and Dan Klingensmith. Round of applause for those guys, even though they're not in the room anymore. We denied them the opportunity to meet Rack Time Rob, so maybe they will invite us next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Fingers
I'm
crossed.
all right.
Fingers crossed.
I'm socially acceptable.
Now he's.
I like that. I like that we went with the blur. We went with the blurry long shot like Marla Hooch.
Rob went from being frozen to just being 5 seconds behind now.
Oh well.
All right.
Like his video is not synced up to his audio. This is good time. This is the sort of thing where we should be doing like the echo bit, you know.
So good. Now batting Manny Mota.
A shout out to our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo
Toys.
Toys.
See, now that I've done it, it'll be a round.
Yeah, we did it in the round. That's great.
Right now we're getting the video of Rob doing the Kokomo Toys theme song.
Merrily. Colin hates you.
Aw.
No, he hates everybody. Deal with it.
He doesn't hate everybody. He's just kind of a grumpy pants.
He can't even look at you.
Well, he doesn't understand cameras. So
Even look at me because he's not. I'm on 7-second delay.
Yeah, he is a cat, and camera science is a little off for him.
I'm but a caveman. Your cameras confuse me.
They steal my soul.
They frighten and confuse me.
When you honk your horns, I immediately stop my beamer and run for the hills.
But that's what we got. That's it. That's all. We're just degenerating into madness at this point.
Yeah.
Let's leave it here. Be sure to join us next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. or so for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. Your favorite fan cast. Your favorite fan cast's favorite fan cast about G.I. Joe. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. We'll be back with you next week. Have a great one in the meantime. Go Joe.
Wait a minute.
Here he goes.
Oh my! You're gonna pay for that later.